I picked up a new radiator, a 3-core one, supposedly for a Reliant, or made for them off eBay, because mine's got a mini one which as far as I'm aware is a 2-core. It's a bit worn out, but it turns out this one is ever so slightly wider, so it's been a bit of a pig. So that bracket goes down on this side, but that one needed to come across a bit. But I mean, the fiberglass is a bit, and I tried to elongate the holes a bit to get the space, but couldn't quite do it. And what the previous people have done is they welded a bolt through these to clamp them up. One of them, the weld came off. So I thought, fuck it, I've taken the whole thing off. I'm going to bolt the bracket to the radiator, get it in there, bolt on the other bracket. These threads are still good, so I'm going to put them back in through the holes in the fiberglass with some nice big washers on it. That should give better cooling. I've also got an electric fan, fucking idiot, which due to the fan being right against here, it's going to go on the outside. Got a wire in there, and this is actually to fix me fog lights, which I never did. So I'm going to half-inch that because I got a switch, because I'm off to Bloodstock Festival in about a week and a half. A lot of motorway driving, so I want extra cooling if I need it. What I also need to do, a lot of my oven heating issues were actually this sensor. That one's actually off a Mini. Hang on. That's what was fitted to the previous engine. The temperature oddly was fine, so I replaced it like for like. It turns out this is for the Smith's temperature sensor, which sits in the whole speedo. I need what's from right, an ETB temperature sensor, so I'm gonna get one of those orders as well. Alright, let's get this fucker back in before it starts raining. Alright, slight issue. If I use the holes that are already in the brackets, there's a bit of a gap behind it, and as you can see, that fan is way too close to the radiator for my liking. So I'm gonna elongate the holes a bit, I think, or something like that, try and move them over. There we go, radiator's in. If I go on this side, so that bracket, that's come over a bit. I've got focus. We've got a bit of space between the radiator and the fan. I'd ideally like a bit more, but I think what I'll do at some point is I'm going to make some new brackets up, because I can't move it up or down, otherwise this isn't going to fit, because it's already a bit iffy on this bit of pipe. So I'll make some new brackets up at some point with the holes back that way, another, yeah, I'll probably get a couple of mil in there, I reckon. But for now, that should do. Once I get it running, I'll check there's nothing catching. But now to connect all the pipes back up. I'll come down to put the bottom radiator hose on, and I've spotted a problem. The fucking bolt for the A-frame bracket is touching the bottom of the radiator. Focus, you wanker. So I have to do something about that. Hopefully I can lift it up just a smidge. Fuck's sake. Grab the bottom hose first. There we go. Managed to lift the driver's side bracket up a smidge. We've now got, this will stay focusing, you bastard. Bit of a gap there. I'm going to put, hang on. What I did is elongate these holes in the fiberglass slightly so I could lift it up. I am going to drill a small hole through here into the fresh fiberglass, put a text bit in there just in case it drops. So better safe than sorry. There we go. Just a bit of added security. Drilled just through the metal of the bracket. Didn't go into the fiberglass. The text bit's bit into that. That'll stop it dropping. Fuck yeah, this turned out to be more work than I thought it would be. Alright, so next job, thermostat housing back on. Got to glue that back on. Then Fill it up, I suppose. I don't want to put the heater box back on yet because I've got to put a new mudguard on. As mine, I'll show you from the other side. There is supposed to be fiberglass. Hang on a minute. Wrong way. Yeah, all of this here is supposed to be fiberglass, but some previous owner had obviously ripped it off. I did have a mudguard on the front of it just because otherwise rain hits it off the front wheel and steams the window up and I can't see fuck all. But we'll get the fan fitted to the outside and I'll get a new mudguard made up. But we're getting there. That's the radiator all in, plumbed up. No leaks so far. I'll wait for the temperature to come up a bit. Check I've got flow going through the heater. I've got no air blocks. Air locks even. But yeah, well, once I've checked all that, it'll be stick the fan on. I'll work out how I'm going to do that, wire it up, and put my new mud flap on, which goes under there. I'll show you that. And that's all my wiring checked. So only roughly wired the battery for now. I just want to check it was all spinning the right way, which it is. Hold this my feet so it doesn't disappear. So perfect. So get the fan fitted now. I'm probably going to shorten up a lot of this wiring because obviously it's only got to go from there to there. Probably have fit the switch, have that coming out. Probably take about a metre or so of this wiring out because I don't need it. It should kind of work there, but let's see about fitting this fan because I think, yes, it came with a fitting kit, which I think you just stick through the radiator. Yeah, I'll have an investigate and see what I'm doing with that. There you go, that's fan fitted to the radiator. It is only wired into the battery at the moment. At some point I might wire it into a switch live, but at the moment I can't be asked. Relays there, as I've shortened up both leads by quite a lot, and I've literally just run it through, drilled it on the dash. And working fan. Got a bit of flow through there. I'm happy with that. Just got to make sure I don't leave the fan on. So a bit of a tidy up, then got maybe mud flap to go in there out of a little bit of rubber, and I'll show you what I've done with that in a minute. There's my mud flap fitted. So I've literally just fucking part of the old one I couldn't be asked to unbolt. Cut the text bits through the fiberglass. And happens to be a stud sticking out there, so I've put a nut on it. The other side, put a cable tie through a hole like that over there. And sorted. I say without that you hit a bit of rain and it just fucking steams up the window almost instantly. So last thing, put the heater box back on, and then it's time to crack open a cold beer, I think. Anyway, hope some of that was useful for someone anyway.